What's up, everybody? It is the Goal60 here. College football bowl season has got to us already. The time is flying. The year has almost passed us up, but we're heading into bowl season. That's a great time of year for everybody. This week, I'm joined by my friend Cody Kirk from the Square Chair. We're going to break down some bowl games. We're going to talk about the Heisman Trophy a little bit, kind of give our picks and what we like in bowl season, and hopefully, it's a really good video for you to enjoy. I appreciate you being with us, Cody. And if you don't mind, go ahead and get started on that Heisman.
Glad I'm here, man. I appreciate it. I'll do this anytime, man. So the
Absolutely.
Heisman, I know Tua's played 588 snaps. I know that's not that many, but to me, that just shows his greatness, honestly, because, he could have played into the fourth quarter, and, I'm not necessarily thinking that Kyler Murray, was just padding stats because they had to have him in there.
Right.
But I think Tua should win, not being a homer. I think Tua should win. I've never seen anybody like him in Alabama. Baker Mayfield did the same thing last year. We've never seen it in Alabama. That's why I think he should win. That's my take.
I totally agree with you. I think that, it's almost like Tua is being punished for the team that he has around him and the defense that he has, and where Kyler Murray is getting the ball a ton because his defense can't stop anybody. And I know we're both, fans of one school in this race,
Right.
and it's hard to believe, but I agree with you. I think that you can't punish or you shouldn't punish a kid for being extremely good, but also because the rest of his team is good. It just ain't right.
Yeah, and I know we're supposed to keep it short, but one other thing. Why does Tua's bad game against Georgia with a hurt ankle that led to surgery count, but not a bad game against Army or a loss to Texas? Why does that not count?
Totally agree. Totally agree. So let's get into the playoff games in the national championship.
Okay, so Clemson, Notre Dame. Uh, I really like Clemson's front seven. I think they're going to be able to control the line of scrimmage all night. I think Ian Book is a very good quarterback. He's definitely serviceable. Uh, I don't think Notre Dame. Notre Dame does have some, pretty good lengthy wide receivers, tight ends. I think they're really good. I think 33 points a game.
Yeah, 33.8.
Yeah, that might be where the spread is in Vegas because I think it's 12 points. I think Clemson's averaging 45, as you said. So I really like Clemson in that game. I think they cover. I really like ETN, their running back. I think he's going to have a field day against some of those slower linebackers that Notre Dame has. But I look for Clemson to move on to their third national championship in 5 years, which is incredible what Dabo's doing. And then with Oklahoma, Bama, um, I think what's going to come down to is I think Bama is going to get a couple more stops than Oklahoma does, maybe 3 or 4. And if that's the case, I can see a 24-point win for Alabama. But if Tua doesn't play, that's going to be a big key for me. I do think Alabama could win with Jalen. I think it would be a lot harder. I think it's just a lot easier to move the sticks, to be honest with you, when Tua is 100% healthy. And Oklahoma does get some, key turnovers. They had a couple key turnovers for touchdowns against West Virginia that, pushed them into the Big 12 championship. Same thing against Texas. They got a safety. They had some big plays. But that's Ellinger and West Virginia's offensive line that they're going against. I think Alabama's offensive line is up for the best offensive lineman award at the end of the year. So I think
Joe Morris, I think.
yeah,
Joe
Joe
Morris
Moore,
Award.
I think they're up for that. But so is Oklahoma's. But
Yeah.
I Quentin Williams, LeBron Ray, Isaiah Buggs, all of those guys that Alabama has. And I didn't even mention Raekwon Davis. He's just a forgotten 6'8" man.
Yeah.
Before the season, he was, all SEC,
Yep.
National Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And really, it just turned out to be Q's year. He has just absolutely had one of the best years defensively I can remember since probably Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
But I like Alabama pulling that one out, maybe 52-37, 52-35.
I got you. Well, you look at like you was talking about with Notre Dame and Clemson. Notre Dame has got, or excuse me, Clemson has got better stats all around the board. You look at points per game. Notre Dame's 33.8, Clemson's 45.4. You look at the offensive output. Clemson puts out 529 yards a game. Notre Dame 456. Obviously, about 70 or 80 yards difference there. Then you look at defense, yards allowed. Clemson's only 276 to Notre Dame's 331. Right off the bat, the stats jump out as Clemson being the winner here. The thing that I think is going to be the at least make this a game for a little while, if not for a while, is the fact that everybody has told Notre Dame they cannot stand a chance in this game. And as you know in college football, there's nothing better than an underdog with a reason. They come out and they've got a reason to play. People have told them they're not worthy of being in this game. They told them they shouldn't have been in the college football playoff, much less be the third seed. Here they are. They've got a chance to show it. They're going to give everything they got. Now, as far as I think Clemson still wins the game. I think Clemson's still powerful and has enough talent to get the things done. As far as Oklahoma and Alabama, like you said, I do think that if Jalen plays, he's obviously got a lot better.
Right.
But I like Alabama's chances with Tua better, but he's got to get healthy. He had surgery last week or this week.
Right.
And he's just got to get healthy. If he can get healthy, I honestly think Alabama's defense takes care of business. You look at some of their stats, Oklahoma is only putting out 2 points more per game. That's in the Big 12. Only 2 points more against the defenses they play versus the defenses Alabama plays in the SEC. Then you look at total yards. Oklahoma does have exactly 50 more yards per game. But then again, they're on the field so many more snaps.
Right.
Then you look at yards allowed. Alabama's is 295 versus 448, 150 yards better. I just think that Alabama's defense is the difference in this game. I think they slow Oklahoma down enough to where Alabama gets what they need to get to win the game.
Right.
And that's all they have to do. They don't have to play lights out football and get a shutout. They just have to slow Oklahoma down. And that gives Alabama no chance to put up their high-powered offense and get things done. So I think Alabama gets the win here. I'm a contrarian in the fact that if you look at teams that put up a lot of points the entire year, a lot of times they're in the bowl game, it's the exact opposite.
Right.
It's a lower scoring game. Not saying it's going to be a 7-3, but more or less maybe a 30. Exactly, 35-28, 31-24, something of that range that's not usual for these teams. I think that Alabama gets the job done and goes and plays Clemson once again for the national championship.
Right. So national championship, Clemson, Alabama. These teams know each other by now. They're basically rivals. I mean, I don't really hate Clemson as an Alabama graduate. I don't really hate them. But, I mean, when you talk about blue blood, Clemson not even in that category. But new money, new blood. I mean,
absolutely.
Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma, those four programs are probably the top four programs, going right now.
Right.
I like Alabama's chances in that one. I do think, Hunter Lawrence is a really good quarterback. But, again, I really can't tell you who they played against that scares me. I mean, maybe a Pitt team that had 5 losses in their conference championship. I don't think defense like Alabama's. I think Alabama's has seen 2, maybe 3 defenses just as good as Clemson, with LSU, Mississippi State, and obviously Georgia being the best of that bunch, in my opinion. Mississippi State might be a little better up front in that front 4 with Sweat and Simmons. But Georgia all around with DeAndre Baker at corner, I give the edge to Georgia in that. So not only has Tua seen better talent, Hunter Lawrence hasn't seen that kind of talent. So I actually give the edge to Alabama. That would be 7 national championships for Coach Saban, 6 at the university, and he would pass Coach Bryant with 6 national championships, which is absolutely incredible in my
I
opinion.
agree. Totally agree with you there. I think that you're exactly right. As far as the blue bloods, I guess that Dabo must have been hanging out in his backyard, rabbit hunting and shot and seen some oil because they have exploded with him being there, and he's just a great coach, and he
Yeah.
jumped in, was interim coach. They gave him a shot, and look where he's at now. And he's just really good. I agree. I think Alabama's a little bit tougher. Clemson's got a ton of that running back. Golly, they can run the ball like it's going out of style. We'll just have to see what happens there, but hopefully Alabama gets it done. Obviously, we're both on one side of this, and we're definitely going to be biased a little bit to that side, which should be understandable. We both went to school there, and it's just one of the things where hopefully our team can get it done, but that Clemson team is stout.
Yeah, that front seven's really good. I know the back end of that defense. They might not be pro prospects this year, but give them a year, give them 2 years, they'll be household names just like that front seven they have. I think all 4 of their 4 defensive linemen are projected either first round or early second round, if I'm not mistaken. Then I know they got some really good linebackers that are going to go pro. Wide receivers, they usually have a Sammy Watkins type. Somebody can go up and get it. But, Grandpa Renfro's still there. So if there's a big play that can be ran, Uncle Renfro will be there.
Yeah, trust me. I remember exactly. Yeah, in Tampa, you got 2 back-to-back plays there where the first one that really got me was they're on like the 15 driving in with 30 seconds or so left. They throw a pass, and we get called for interference on the 5-yard line, but yet somehow it got called that it was in the end zone. They moved the ball to the 2, which doesn't even make sense to me. But then you look the very next play, they run a pick play hey, I give it to that receiver that ran the pick. That was probably the best block all year. He double teamed 2 guys by himself, and it just completely took out the entire defensive backfield to allow, like you said, Grandpa Renfro to run a little out route over there and catch the ball for a touchdown and beat us.
You've also got Crazy Tony covering him. He don't even know what to do.
Well, he can't even spell his name, so we'll give him that. But other than that, yeah. So, but that's it. That's the playoffs and the national championship. Now we'll jump. I think this is going to be the end of part 1. I actually think I'm going to split this up into maybe 3 parts in this video. First video is going to be the playoffs and national championship. Second video will be playoffs. Who's talking about playoffs? The second video will be talking about the New Year's Day Bowls, New Year's Six, as they call them, even though there's 5 games there. And then the third and final part will be talking about some games that we both really like that are outside all of these major bowl games. Some games that are intriguing, they're fun to watch. Give us a reason to watch them. And with that said, thanks for watching the first part, and then don't forget to like and subscribe and give us that thumbs up, of course, and share this thing. Appreciate it, and we'll see you in part 2.